Good morning again.
Morning.
You know, I just noticed a little earlier beautiful flowers up on the altar. I didn't say anything about them because I don't know who brought them.
They're
An angel?
borrowed.
They're borrowed. Oh, no, not again. From Children's Friends?
No, from the youth and family ministry.
Oh, the Youth and Family
Yes, they
Ministry.
were going to set up and they didn't have enough
Well,
kids.
they're beautiful, aren't they?
Which of that means principles are stealing?
I don't know. I know it's one of the commandments. That's another sermon. So anyway, today has been just filled with adventure already. Those of you who are on Facebook a little bit familiar with what my morning was like. I set my alarm for 6 a.m. and the alarm went off, as it should, but while it was going off, I heard my mom yelling. And, you know, I just had time, I turned the alarm off quick, ran downstairs, and she had fallen down. And she's doing fine, but, you know, scrapes, bruises, sores, all that type of thing. And I had left about an hour's worth of work in the morning to do, which is typical of me on the talk. And so I ended up running in here at 10 of, I think, 10 of 10. And, you know, irony of ironies, Jackie Woodside is here this morning. Jackie had said to me, Jackie, raise your hand, stand up. She had said to me a couple days ago, I'm coming into the talk with you, for you. I'm like, no. You know, I canceled my classes yesterday, I canceled the disciples meeting today, but no, I have to be here, right, to do the talk. So it's just interesting. The universe is continuously trying to teach me to take care of myself. As some people had said, some people know I've been ill for a couple weeks now, and I have this huge boil on my neck because I got really, really mad at someone. By the way, every time I get mad at someone, I get a boil. You know, boiling mad. You think I'd learn by now not to go there, but you know, I'm having this human experience with the rest of you. Still haven't figured out, you know, the thing with coughing and everything. What's anybody know the power chakra here? What is
Communication?
that? It's power. It's the power of the spoken word. And so whenever you have things going on in your throat and that type of thing, then you're not feeling your power faculty spiritualized and actualized. So I have to look at that as well. But you know, I felt like I had to be here because what have we been doing for the last 3 weeks? Anybody know?
Prosperity.
Prosperity!
Yes.
We've been doing Edwin Gaines, the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity. And I really wanted to finish the program with you this morning. And so we're going to do that. Because I need this as much as you do. We've explored what? The first law, which was tithing. The second law, which was goal setting. And last week, the third law. Anybody remember what it was?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. All essential practices, right? To becoming a prosperous person. And we've learned the 4 elements, right? That Edwin Gaines says indicates that you're prosperous. I haven't seemed to master the first one. What's the first one? Vitally alive, physical body, right? Relationships, number 2, that work all the time. Work that you just love to do. And number 4, all the money you can spend. But let me ask you, have you stopped yet to ask the question, why am I bothering to do all this? What does it really matter if I become prosperous? Yes, you know, it's good to have nice things, right? It's wonderful to have a healthy body. I can't wait. It's going to happen right away. And it's wonderful to have good relationships. Wonderful to have something to do for work that I really love, that I really enjoy. And yes, it's terrific, right? To have lots and lots of money. But none of that changes the fact, you know the old saying, I can't take it with me. All of that stuff is temporary, folks. Because the fact still remains, I'm born, I grow up, I work hard, I pay taxes, I may or may not get into a relationship and reproduce. I retire, I grow old, and then ultimately what happens? I die. Then I die. What does it really matter if along this road from birth to death I was healthier, in good relationships, loved my job, or had lots of money? If the outcome is the same anyway. right? The path to prosperity and the path to poverty still have the same destination point. Now you're saying, I wish you had stayed home. I'm so down. You know? We all have the same destination point. You and I are eventually all going to die. So for me, the fourth spiritual law of prosperity is the only one that really matters. It's the only one that really matters beyond this physical life. It's the only one that really matters to my spiritual self. It's the only one that answers those questions. What is the meaning of my life? Why am I here? What am I doing on this earth? What am I supposed to be doing with this life? Anyone know what the fourth spiritual law is? I know it's up there on PowerPoint. Finding your divine purpose. The first three laws, tithing, goal setting, and forgiveness, are important, yes, but they're just important, folks, in order to realize and to express this fourth spiritual law, your divine purpose. Discovering my divine purpose is the only aspect of prosperity that really, really matters in the long run. It is, what have I come here to be? In Unity, we don't believe that this life begins at birth, do we? We also don't believe that it ends at death. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, but I like to say, and I've really come to this more recently, I'm a spiritual being having a spiritual experience because everything is spiritual. But what is the reason that I'm in this physical incarnation right here and right now? Why am I here? If it's not just to breathe and to take up space and to perhaps bring in other beings to take up even more space, what does it all mean? What is the purpose of my life? What is the spiritual purpose of this life? Do you ever ask yourself these questions, or is it just me when I get blue and I'm suffering and I'm miserable? You know, I write really dark things and I don't feel good. Like we're all going to die. So what does it mean? What's the meaning of life? Well, if you ask yourself these questions, that is what the fourth law of prosperity is all about. Finding the answer to that question. And the answer is different for each one of us. You know, are you going to have your answer at the end of this talk this morning? Maybe. Maybe you already had it. Maybe you already have it. But you may still be asking yourself the question and searching for the answer as you leave church today. Because this is our life's work, people. This is what you and I have to figure out to be truly prosperous. To be truly happy, to be truly peaceful, to be truly fulfilled. It's, thank God, more than just about being healthy. It's more than just about being in loving relationships. It's more than just about being in a job that I love or having all the money that I can spend. Remember, none of that's going to last. Breathe. None of that really has any meaning in itself. My divine purpose is why I'm here, in this body, in this place, in this physical life at this time. So how do I discover? You ask that question, how do I discover what my divine purpose is? How do I know what I'm here to be? Well, the first thing is to stop thinking small. As Edwene Gain writes, she says, you're not just here to work hard and take care of your household, spending your days filled seemingly with endless chores and tasks, such as getting the oil changed in your car. Oh, by the way, my 2013 Nissan was recalled, and I have to bring it in tomorrow. So, it's not just spending your days getting the oil changed in your car or returning it when it's recalled. And going to the grocery store. Life isn't just one long, meaningless to-do list. Do you ever feel like that's life is, with a bland retirement and a gold-plated watch at the end of it all. This is Edwina speaking. No, you're here to make a difference. You're here to be all that you can be. There's a speech that always inspires me. I know I've shared it with you before. It was the speech given by Nelson Mandela. Marianne Williamson has quoted it, and many people think she said it, but it's Nelson Mandela's speech in 1984. After 25 years in prison, he said, "Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant and gorgeous and talented and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, he says, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others." And is that powerful?
Yes.
You know, it is quote-unquote human to look at people like Nelson Mandela, who are living their divine purpose, and to think, as Edwina Gage writes in her book, that person is somehow different than me. He's better, he's smarter, he's more superior, more saintly, more courageous. He doesn't even seem to be human. And that's true, he is more than human. But so are you. And so am I. Remember, we're spiritual beings. You know, my favorite saying from Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, is that we're spiritual beings, living in a spiritual universe, governed by spiritual law. If we really got that, how different things would be for each one of us. Because the only difference between Nelson Mandela and me is that he's living his divine purpose, his spiritual purpose, in his human condition. He's making manifest the glory of God that is within him, right? He's refusing to play small. He's here to serve the world. And that, folks, is what our divine purpose is. Our divine path to true prosperity. Prosperity is not just about getting and getting and getting more and more and more for myself. It's about finding my passion and making a difference by serving the world. You getting that? Prosperity is serving the world. Oh boy. Edwina Gaines writes, every single one of us has some special gift, some special interest, some special talent, some special way of impacting this world so that it becomes a better place for everyone. Do you believe that?
Yes.
You have the potential to live at the level of Mandela or Gandhi or Christ or Mother Teresa or whoever you can name, who lived their own divine purpose, their divine purpose. Edwina goes on, years ago a teacher explained to me that if I wanted to fully realize my potential in this lifetime, the first thing I had to do was look out upon my world and notice all the things that need healing, fixing, and transforming. The task that my teacher instructed is that after looking carefully at the world, I must pick out one thing that I feel needs transforming. Something, now listen to this, something that would be fun for me to get involved in repairing, shifting, restructuring, fixing, and perfecting. Did you note that the teacher said fun? This is not about martyrdom or great personal sacrifice. It's about focus. It's about joy. In a sense, a purposeful, possible achievement. And next, I must take the bold step and make a 100% commitment to fixing the problem that I've identified. followed by devoting my energies, time, talent, skills, and money to transforming that one piece of the earthly puzzle. Now, folks, we are children of God, but even children eventually have to grow up, spiritually grow up. Discovering and demonstrating our divine purpose is part of that spiritual maturation process. It's part of spiritual development. When I choose my divine purpose, I'm not only framing my life with meaning, I'm taking an important step in a spiritual development, in that spiritual journey. I'm realizing my divine nature. I'm proving in myself that I can affect change, that I matter, that I'm here on purpose, that I'm here for a divine reason, a divine calling. I'm demonstrating that I am. Do you get that? Emerson wrote, "Oh man, there's no planet, sun, or star could hold you if you but knew what you are." There's nothing in the universe that could hold us if we only truly knew what we are. And what are we? Divine, magnificent beings with a divine purpose, beckoning, calling to us. We're here on this planet, folks, to discover and demonstrate our divinity through our divine purpose. Now, in Unity, we know this, right? In the second core belief. What's our second core belief, my Unity students? It's in the divinity of humankind. You know, that's a radical teaching, folks. You're not going to get that in traditional Christianity. Do they tell you that you are the Christ in traditional Christianity? No. You're a sinner, born in original sin, and you need Jesus Christ to save you. Well, our core belief in Unity says you are the Christ. Jesus came to show you the way to that realization, to that demonstration, to that manifestation of your divine self. Is that exciting? So this isn't new to us. We are here to be God in expression. You know, I was very fortunate because at a very young age, I had that mystical experience. You guys, I told you 100 times when I was 12. But it was so significant because it was my aha moment. It was the moment that I realized my divine purpose, which was to, in every way possible, create environments where other people could experience the presence of God as I had in that mystical experience out there in the canoe in the lake in Canada. Because the problem that I identified, you know, Edwin Gaines talks about, look around and see what needs to be transformed. Well, at 12 years old, I may not have realized this, but certainly at my current age, I do. That the problem is people don't understand that they are not ever separate from that presence of God. There is no separation. We're not separate from God. We're not separate from one another. We are always in that state, but we're asleep. We're unconscious. We've forgotten. We're walking, sleepwalking, like in the darkness. And so my divine purpose is to create environments where people wake up and remember their true selves. It's not just about my talking about my mystical experience, but knowing that that experience is available to each and every one of you. That's what I've devoted my life to. So I was given this gift of this experience, an experience that is available to everyone. A gift that proves that life is more than just being born, working hard, paying taxes, right? Till you retire, and then you what?
The eyes.
And what's dead? Because we know this is true, students. What dies?
The body.
The body. Breathe. I know some of you are really attached to your bodies. I don't happen to be right now. Okay? The physical body dies. But there's this whole other dimension of life. a life that's eternal and without end, a dimension that we call God. And that's been my divine purpose. It doesn't matter if I was a competitive swimmer when I was younger, a social worker for 22 years, or a teacher now of true principles, or a caregiver to my mom, or a minister. None of that matters. What matters is that I'm living in this purpose for my life, to be the messenger of the good news, folks. That this isn't it. This isn't it, what we think through our 5 physical senses. Whether you have lots of money, or great relationships, a terrific job, or a wonderfully healthy body, this isn't it. This thing we call human life isn't all there is. There's so much more to who and what we are. And you can experience it too. So, why are you here? What's your divine purpose? What good news do you have to bring to the world? Because you have something to give. You have something in you to manifest the glory of God within you. Think about it. Now, I can't end this talk this morning without mentioning one more thing. In the same way that each of us has a divine purpose, this church, I truly believe this, the Unity Church of Central Massachusetts, has a divine purpose. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's our job as a spiritual community to both discover and demonstrate that divine purpose together. And we've done that to some degree, right, in our vision and mission statements. You can look in the bulletin if you want to remember what they said. But the question that I've struggled with to some degree or another over the last 5 years, I've been here a little more than 5 years, is, what is the core meaning, the core purpose of this church? What is ours to do in this world? Do you think we've figured that out yet? How can we make a difference? What is the divine purpose of UCCM? I know what my individual divine purpose is. I know what my individual agenda concerning the divine purpose of this church is. But let me ask you now, what do you want this church to be? What do you want this church to be? And what are you willing to give to have the church become it? Breathe, right? I always tell you to breathe when I put it in your face. I want to be on divine purpose in both my life and in this church. Do you?
Yes.
And I invite all of you to join me. Edwene Gaines dedicates an entire chapter to the subject of commitment in her book on prosperity. You think that's an accident? She writes, it takes commitment to tithe, not just every once in a while, but each and every time money comes into your life. It takes commitment to set goals. Oh God, do I know? Because I don't do it very well. And she says, and then to move outside your comfort zones in order to achieve them. It certainly takes great commitment to forgive the people who have hurt you in the past, right? And it will take commitment to start living according to your divine purpose, both in your life and in this church. She goes on, what I know with clarity and certainty is that when you make 100% commitment to do or be something, and you take every step with integrity, the universe will open up a way where before there was no way, and rush in to support you. God is waiting for you and I to discover and to demonstrate our divine purpose in both our individual lives and in this church community. And when we step into our purpose with 100% commitment, what's going to happen? The universe is going to rush in and lift us up and support us and help us realize the greatness of who and what we really are. So let us stand and join together in singing, How Can I Serve? How Can I Serve? It's on an insert written in your bulletins.